What is going on, everyone? I hope you are all having a fantastic day. So, you all know that I am on a constant search to find the best financial products across the board and ultimately share those products with you. And I also know that a lot of you might have your own small business or maybe even a side hustle. And as I've talked about in many previous videos, having a separate business bank account is so important for so many reasons if you really want to take your small business or side hustle seriously. So today I want to share with you a fantastic product that I just recently discovered that could very well be the best banking option for your small business or side hustle, and that would be Relay. So today let's break down everything that Relay has to offer and talk about how it can allow you to maximize your income while minimizing the stress and headaches that come with running a small business or side hustle. Alright, let's jump right into it. So like I said, I just recently learned about Relay, and they actually reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in watching a demo and learning more about that platform. And after seeing that demo, I couldn't help but wonder how I hadn't stumbled upon this awesome product previously. So I do want to let you know that yes, Relay is sponsoring this video, so thank you to them for helping support my content. However, you know the drill with any sponsored video. I turn away like 99% of the companies that reach out to me, and I will only ever share products with you that I see value in for you as my viewer. Okay, so there is a lot to unpack with this awesome platform because it is a very powerful financial tool. So instead of talking about all of these features, I actually want to jump inside a demo account and walk you through all of the amazing tools that Relay has to offer you that will help you optimize your small business or side hustle. But to give you a quick 30,000 foot view of what Relay is all about, Relay is a banking tool specifically designed for small business owners, entrepreneurs, and freelancers. And allow me to remind you that even if you just have a little side hustle that you run out of your house, for example, you are a business and you should be treating it that way. However, even if you have a slightly larger business with a good number of employees, Relay has a lot of powerful tools that we're going to talk about in today's video that could make this the perfect fit for you as well. Alright, so let's jump into my laptop and talk about all of the amazing features that Relay has to offer. Okay, so when you first sign up for Relay, which is completely free by the way and has no monthly fees or minimum balance requirements, you'll be brought to this homepage where you'll have access to all of the basic functions of Relay for completely free. Now, I do want to clarify right off the bat that they do have a Relay Pro option that gives you a few additional features, and I'll talk about that later on in the video, but a majority of the features that we're going to look at in today's video do come with the free account, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so from the home screen, you'll see that we have the total balance on the top left corner of the screen, as well as the various transactions that appear in your Relay account. And the biggest thing that I want to point out on this home screen is how clear and concise the transaction data is, and I'm sure if you have ever had a business or even a personal bank account with a number of other companies, then you have gone through the huge headache of trying to figure out what in the world a transaction is, because it might just give you some random details or even just a transaction ID, and it can sometimes be incredibly difficult to remember what that transaction actually was and where it is coming from. But as you can see here, these transactions clearly state exactly where the charge originated from, and you can even click on each individual transaction to see which account it was pulled from, which card was used for that transaction, and a bunch of other helpful information on the actual merchant themselves. Now, you may be wondering why I said which accounts and which card, and that's because Relay actually allows you to create up to 20 individual FDIC-insured checking accounts that each have their own account number, and up to 50 different debit cards. Now, truthfully, if you just have a side hustle and you don't have any employees, then you probably won't need to have 50 different debit cards and 20 different checking accounts. But if we click on the next tab down, which is the Accounts tab, you can see that here I have an account for equipment, a separate one for materials, payroll, operating expenses, taxes, compensation for the owner, as well as accounts for income and profit. And all the way down at the bottom of the screen, you can see that I can add additional accounts that will again have their own account number and their own category. Now again, if you are a really small business, then you might not need to have all of these different checking accounts. But the great thing is that this is all fully customizable. multiple. And the one account that I think most of us can take advantage of is actually the tax account. Because if you have a small business or you're a freelance or gig worker, then you probably are well aware that taxes can be a little bit overwhelming to say the least. Typically, as a freelancer, your taxes are not going to be automatically taken out of your paycheck throughout the year, and as a result, you can oftentimes be slapped with a huge unexpected quarterly tax bill, or even worse, an annual tax bill if you didn't make quarterly payments throughout the year. So by creating a separate checking account for your taxes alone, you can automatically set that money aside throughout the year and make sure that you will have enough money to pay your tax bill, which you definitely want to take care of. So you can get really creative with this one, and I'm sure there are a ton of other ways to take advantage of this, but again, the fact that each account has its own account number means that the possibilities are pretty much endless. Now, as if all of that isn't useful enough, if we move to the next tab down, which is the cards tab, you can see that it is really easy to manage all of the existing cards that are tied to this business, and it's also really easy to create a new card if you have a new team member coming on, or if you just want to separate your expenses that way. So if we click on the green plus sign at the bottom of the screen, we can give this card a nickname, decide whether we want it to be a physical card that we can actually swipe at the store, or a virtual card that can be used online, or with platforms like Apple Pay and Google Pay. And you can assign which checking account you want this card to be tied to. So let's say you have an employee doing some work for you, and maybe occasionally they have to go out and buy some materials for you. Well, really, you only have two options, the first of which being giving them your card, which is really risky for a lot of reasons, or the second option being having them pay for that stuff, and then you have to reimburse them and deal with the expense report, and that's just a huge headache that you want to avoid at all cost. But with Relay, you can just create a card for them really easily, send it directly over to them, and then they can just make those purchases, and it will come out of the checking account that you have that card tied to. Plus, it allows you to really easily monitor their spending, deactivate the card if you need to, and specifically assign the checking account that you want them to spend money from, making sure that it is categorized under the correct account. Alright, I know I'm moving very quickly, but we have a lot to cover, so now let's jump down to the Payments tab, and this is actually where some of those Relay Pro features come into play that might make you consider upgrading. So, if you click on the Payments tab, you're going to see a few different menus that show you your recent payment activity. Now, I want to clarify right off the bat that you are currently looking at a demo for Relay Pro. And what that means is when you connect platforms like QuickBooks Online and Xero, those bills are going to be automatically imported, and you will be able to set up multi-step approvals, which we'll talk more about in a second. So if you have Relay Pro, you will have access to this action items menu that's going to show you all of your unpaid bills, ones that need approval, bills that are ready for payments, ones that are in progress, paid bills, and a menu that shows all of your bills under one menu. Now, about that approvals feature, I'm sure as small business owners, we all want to minimize the need for us to complete those simple tasks because it is really important that we are working on the business and not in the business. So having other individuals pay bills for you is a really great way to take some of those easier tasks off of your plate, but you might still want to give things a quick glance and a look over before that money actually comes out of the account. So you can set up an approval feature that allows you to do just that. So if I click on the new payment button in the top right hand corner of the screen, you can see that I can send this payment using ACH next day or same day if I have Relay Pro, as well as international and domestic wire transfers, and I can even request that Relay send a physical check if needed. And this new payments feature is something that is available on both the free and paid versions of Relay. Scrolling down from there, I can either select from existing payees, or one of my favorite features about Relay, I can also add a new payee and even request the payment details from right within Relay without me having to actually track down the individual or email them documents or go through that whole headache of actually getting their payment details. And perhaps even better than that, I can even request a W-9 form from the payee, and that might not sound like a big deal to some of you, but if you have ever had to hire a contractor or pay some other bill for a freelancer or gig worker, then tracking down that W-9 form when it's time to do your taxes can be a huge headache, but it is really important. So the fact that that is easily integrated within the Relay platform and they can just submit their W-9 with that payment is amazing and will save so much time, so much headaches, and really just streamline the entire process, which is really what we all want as small business owners. So from there, you can fill out some other basic information and decide which account you'd like to pull this payment from, and then go ahead and make that payment, and it is just that easy. Now again, those basic functions are available to you with next day ACH transfers for completely free. But if you do decide to go with Relay Pro, which is $30 per month, then you're actually going to get 50 same-day ACH transfers with that account. Plus, while you are able to link your bank feed to Xero and QuickBooks Online with the free account, with Relay Pro, remember that all of your bills are going to be automatically imported, which is just another step in the process that will be removed and help streamline your business. Now, I will mention that for the time being, there isn't any way to actually take on accounts receivable, which is where you would send out an invoice that is to be paid to you. However, platforms like QuickBooks Online actually have an invoicing tool that is integrated with that platform. So if you do use something like QuickBooks, then you probably already have access to that invoicing accounts receivable tool anyways. The last two tabs at the bottom of the screen are pretty self-explanatory, but under the Team tab, you're able to see everyone that is on your account, easily add a new team member, and even add an advisor, which is another really nice feature that kind of goes under the radar, because let's say you have an accountant or a lawyer who you want to share your confidential financial information with. Well, printing out all of those documents and statements and emailing them to them is a huge headache, and giving them access to your financial accounts is also incredibly risky for obvious reasons. But the nice thing here is that you can really easily add them under the Advisors tab by simply inputting their email and deciding what level of access you would like them to have to your Relay account. And lastly, the Settings tab all the way at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen gives you access to your profile information, allows you to see the sessions and activities of various members on your team, and you can even add additional businesses. So if you have multiple small businesses or even multiple side hustles, then you're able to register multiple businesses under this one Relay account, which is another really nice touch in my opinion. There's also a direct line to their customer service, which, as you all know, is a really important factor for me personally, and I know that it is a really important factor for a lot of you. And naturally, I did put their customer service to the test, and I have to say that overall, I was really impressed, and they answered the phone really quickly and knew exactly how to help me with my question. Alright, so I know that was a lot to cover in one video, and this is probably going to be one of the longest videos that I have ever made on my channel. But there are just so many features that I wanted to talk about with Relay, and I wanted to make sure that I was sharing all of those awesome features with you so that you can get the most value possible out of this awesome banking platform. So overall, I think this is an incredibly powerful financial tool, especially for small business owners or freelance workers, and they really have resolved a lot of the pain points that I know I have personally had with other bank accounts in the past. So I would love to know what you think of Relay down in the comment section below, and if you do want to give this platform a shot, then I'll be sure to link to their website down in the description below where you can check out their website and even sign up if you want to give it a shot. Again, thank you so much to Relay for supporting my content and sponsoring this video and creating such a valuable financial tool that I think is going to help so many small businesses and freelance workers. If you did get value out of this content and you want to help support me, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this in the future. And of course, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it so much. Take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one.